Good day, folks. I actually have two, I'm going to say two at this point, videos I'm supposed to be making for you guys. I'm sort of being moved along with the tide. We are how many days into Aries season? Let me see, guys, because that's going to make a difference. So, Aries season is all about. I'm sorry, I saw something on my screen that fucked me up. Spirit is preparing a surprise party at your party. I don't know. Every time I see surprises now, I'll be like, what the fuck is next? I'm tired. So let me find out what degree we are at right now. So I always look at current chart of the sky astrology. I've talked to you guys about this beforehand, but since every day it could be new people waking up or starting to get interested in this stuff. It ain't that crazy. I was about to say, like, what? It's 11:27 at 11:27 everywhere. So today is at the sixth degree. The sixth degree is a Virgo degree. That's being of service, learning something, teaching something, organizing something. Okay, that makes sense. But every day there's a different degree, and we're all supposed to be doing different things. The first 5 degrees, 0 through 5, you are deeply into self. I couldn't do any videos like on actually anything because I was too busy trying to understand what the hell had just came through to me. I'm like, how am I supposed to tell these people that? But now that we are in the sixth degree, which is why I went to check because I'm like, how is this possible? Suddenly I understand how I'm supposed to teach it. So I'm going to be doing multiple videos today. One is a big learn with me history lesson thing that applies to now so y'all can understand what's going on. Notice how I was still in the middle of getting ready when I realized I had to do 2 videos. But this first one is actually going to be me finishing the Taurus I left off from the last message. I'm sorry. It must have happened because I didn't sing the song, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. And I can't remember all 12 just off top. And then I got the strongest feeling this morning. I was like, my husband need a message. Wherever he is, Al, that's what I call him now. Al, that's my nickname for him. Needs a message. It's like he asked me, like he needed some clarity on something, which is super handy. So since we're talking about astrology stuff, let me share my screen right quick. Or do I need to share my screen for this? Yeah, so y'all won't be bored while I'm back here playing in the background. So let me back it up. Asteroid Telephus. Every asteroid is just a smaller body sending off a frequency, and it only impacts you heavily if it's next to one of your personal planets, which means, or at a degree that's a personal planet degree, or something else that is a strong degree in your planet, in your chart, right? So number 5264, Telephus, your telepathic link. Hypnosis also telepathic, but it's more your ability to send out messages as opposed to pick up, but both kind of do the same thing. It's between you and other people, depending on if you have a strong one and where it's at. Okay. So when you put 2 charts together, right, that's synastry. That shows you. Can I do an example of this? Okay. I got it. So I am going to astro.com. And I was thinking about this earlier. I did not know I was being prepped for a lesson. Most of the time, we don't know that we are being prepped for something. But I was listening to my gospel music that I need to get my day together. And particularly today, it was withholding nothing. Like I give myself away. I had so much stuff in my head that's about me and my situation and stuff. And I'm like, I don't want that to teeter over into what I am teaching you guys, unless it has something to do with it. Because, I'll be in my own therapy sessions sometimes. And I do them as video diaries. So sometimes that line can get blurred when I'm talking to y'all and telling y'all all my business versus what I'm supposed to be talking about in my personal diary that I use just to take the edge off, right? So I'm going to type in hypnos too. Just so I can help you guys understand how this works. 14827. But each asteroid pings down energy to you. And in your natal chart, if it's next to something, it will naturally take on the quality of that asteroid. So I'm going to use Beyonce and Jay-Z as an example, because this is the one I got earlier. If you do not understand somebody having a telepathic connection with you before they meet you, or even after y'all met and y'all aren't even talking to each other or anything, deja vu, baby boy, and sweet dreams. When you have an out-of-body relationship with somebody, or 12th house synastry, like I've been sharing about lately, let me show y'all here, because Beyonce's chart has the time. I put her in the middle. When you have a 12th house connection with somebody, they can talk to you. They can come in your dreams. Like, you are already mine, sweetheart. You're just not with me yet. So they'll stay on your mind. You'll think you'll see them in places that you don't see them. You'll see their name everywhere. You'll see their birthday. It'll make you feel like you're losing your shit. But it's because they're likely thinking of you too. But it feels like, very possibly, and this is just what I'm channeling in this moment, it's to make sure you don't forget them. Like, you might come across a million people, but this person is going to keep popping in your mind, and giving you a feeling that you have not had before, so you can understand their significance. Not everybody's going to hit you this way. Like, a 12th house industry, or somebody that you have a telepathic connection with, is going to hit you like 10 times harder, so it stands out. So no, this is the one to pay attention to. So her North Node, this is where you're directed, right? Was right to his Hypnos. I mean, both songs were about like not being able to get him out of her head, but it's because like in Dream World, he was like, "You are my wife." Like, that's the energy I'm getting off of this. Whatever he was thinking in his waking life or trying to suppress when it was in dream time, you don't have your ego in Dream World. So if you're like low-key obsessed with somebody in real life and you're not telling them or anything, when you're in astral form or in your dream body, when you talk to them in their dream body, you're not going to be, what's the word? I was about to use an old one, like flexing. You're not going to be capping. You're not going to be fake. You're going to be professing your love if that's how you feel, even though your ego won't let you say that in the regular filter. That's why there are feelings and stuff that happen ahead of time to make the relationship more intense or more binding. As you can see, he also has this Saturn, which is his contract in this life, and her 7th house, which is her partnership contract. Partnership house. It was already set up, done, right? So where is the telephist? Because I didn't get a chance to look at this. I just got the message that this is the perfect thing for you to look at. So Neptune is your antenna, right? Where you pick up messages. His Mercury, which is his mind, his thoughts, are right next to her antenna. He can telepathically call her in. Look at his telephist is right next to her part of fortune. The fact that she can pick up on him and read his thoughts is the thing that like made him not be the whore that he was gonna be. Remember the whole big pimping girls. I used to love girls phase where he was like, my heart is cold, I shall never love. Nah, B, she got in your mind. She unlocked you, but it's because there's part of him that wanted to be unlocked. The soul part that deeply wanted love that couldn't get past the ego. So everything about her telepathic energy, which is over here, right next to his sun, she could see him even when he did not want to be seen. Her Hypnos, which is like kind of your ability to suggest stuff, to hypnotize, to move around in dreams, to see through other people's dreams, is right next to the energy that made him turn into a husband and want to settle down. So there are telepathic connections that exist between you and other people, even when you're on together. If you already have a contract or something, it's just the way of the world. It's how it works. So if you're having a weird situation like I am, there you go. So first message, the Taurus. Y'all, what cards did I use? Ooh. Because I swear, while I'm doing it, like while I'm in the middle of a session, I'm being led directly based upon that. So if I try to come back again, it's not the same. So maybe I just need to make up a new one for Taurus because I left y'all out anyway. So new skill was the thing. Okay. What is the new skill? What was the first one? Ah, I got it. What are you healing? Okay. Got it, guys. And then I'm going to do the message I said I was asked to do for Al, but I feel like it might apply to multiple guys, but that'll make sense when I post the video I'm doing later. which is a lesson. So for the sign of Taurus, what are they repairing in order to utilize the new skill they are learning during this retrograde season? One sort of popped out, so let me take that too. Okay. What new skill do they need in order to bridge the gap between where they are and their manifestation? What does Taurus need at this time? Right. Take one off the bottom too. And then last but not least, what is this new skill that Taurus is learning? I remember that part. I did not flip it first there, whatever I saw it. Okay, so Taurus. Ooh, you're gonna hate this. So the new skill that Taurus is learning is patience. And it's so funny because I thought Tauruses were like the sign of patience because they have to build slowly over time, but it looks like that's the skill because impatience is what is the block. So stubbornness. So if you have strong Taurus placements, if you are a Taurus, if you have a Taurus rising, a Taurus stellium, which is 3 planets in that sign, it takes time to build an empire. Your desire for instant results can hinder your ability to make good decisions, right? What backed that up? Inflexible. So this is about your stubbornness, Taurus. You see that there are things that have to be done, but you want to keep doing stuff the way you've been doing it instead of, it feels annoying, to be honest, like annoying to you, which is why you don't want to do it. Let me read inflexible. You or the person involved are set in ways that are impeding growth. Be more open-minded and see the other person's point of view to expand your perspective in a oftentimes in a healthy manner. That's their typo. That wasn't me. Oftentimes, being too rigid masks the problem that causes imbalance and unrest. Flexibility is needed to create flow. Patience. So you're closing a chapter, I'm getting. Like there's some stuff you have to do to finish like old stuff, like old debts, it feels like. Because it says you have some prior contracts or commitments that still need to be fulfilled before you completely move on to the next stage. And you need to be patient while you're working through this stage. But be open to change because this won't be it always. This is hard, Taurus. You are healing the parts of yourself that are stubborn. And it's like you need that stubbornness, you need that fixed energy, that 10 toes down. I'm feeling like once you dig your feet into something and push down, like you're into it. But it's like you're being told this is not the place that you need to build anymore. This is not the place that your energy needs to be given. And you're being shown in many, many different ways, so many so that you're overwhelmed because you're in the middle of like a storm. You're in the middle of a transition. So during this next couple of weeks, you are being asked to be patient while you work through these final uncomfortable things and start making moves towards the balance that is needed in your relationship. Some people gotta go. Some people are a no. is what I'm sensing here. Like you don't want to change what's been happening because it was going so good, but like there are warning signs that it won't be going like this for long. This feels like a job that you know is coming to an end, but you ain't want to let it go because it was comfy, even though you had outgrown it. You've been doing the same thing for a while. You're not really, you built something. You don't want to leave it or move on to nothing. But what I'm getting here is that what you are going to be building and developing next is the thing that you can actually stay 10 toes down on. Like this was whatever you were doing right now was a training. You learned all the skills that you needed to learn doing whatever job, whatever career this was, so that going forward, this next one is doctor, which means like healing yourself. I'm feeling like healing the issues that you had, the blockages, your internal, but architect, because you're building something else. What you originally built or the life that you were in was based upon your unhealed self, your unhealed energy, right? After this change, this shift that you can't avoid, like I'm telling you ahead of time, and you can try to avoid and keep going like you were doing, but it's going to cause a tower. More stuff is going to happen. You cannot stay where you're at. You cannot continue the way you've been going. That is not the rest of your path. It's where you had to be at that time. So going forward, you're going to get, and you probably already have been seeing signs for like new ideas, new designs. You're coming up with something all new, something that has not been done anymore. And it's going to be way more fun. It's like you've been doing something that has made you super serious, like tense, serious. But that's not going to be the case going forward. You're going to find something that you love and that you're happy to build in. Very possibly you could have been working for other people before. Now you're going to be working for yourself. Like you are the boss in what you're doing. You are the person that's going to be hiring the people to do the stuff. There's nobody to answer to. And because this card just popped up here, this is connecting you back to soul family. Like you couldn't have met them on the path that you were on. Interesting, because I didn't even like mean to pick that card up. I was told that I had to move somewhere, just like spiritually. And I was like, why do I have to move there? I don't understand, because it's not in the United States. I always thought I was going to move somewhere like LA or somewhere cool. That's not the answer I got after my awakening, right? So I was at my mom's house when I got this message, spending the night hanging out with her and stuff. I woke up at like 3 a.m. to get something to drink, and I think it's her Alexa. I don't know. I don't do that tech stuff. I don't like none of that talking to me. But I went past her thing, and there was a joke on the screen. And the joke was, why did the lion cross the road? And I was like, Alexa, why did the lion cross the road, right? Because I'm a Leo. I'm like, it seems specific. I need to pay attention to this. And it said, to get to the other pride. And I was like, ew. So sometimes you're not in the right vibration. You're not in the right space. You're not even in the right country that you need to meet the other people who will help you achieve what you need to achieve. So handle what you got to do now and just be patient as you're working through the end of the bull. It feels like the end of the stuff that's holding you back. And I just said something about your family being on the other side of the bull, the obligations, the end of this cycle that you're in, closing out this job or whatever. I said family, and then also at the bottom that was your dream home. But it feels like there are people in this dream home, like the rest of your family. Like Taurus, if you're single, like your spouse, your children are waiting on the other side of that timeline, or waiting on the other side of your obligations, and you clearing out this last round of what you had to do. So you're learning to be patient. You're learning to work on yourself. You're learning to trust yourself as a boss, as a leader, knowing that you're about to take all the skills that you just developed at this job and create a version of it as your own entrepreneurial type thing is what I'm feeling. Taurus, you're being called into boss because you weren't going to ever make the wealth that you were meant to make under somebody else. This is Taurus energy, remember. Not just, it's important for me to say that, not just Taurus sun. You might have a Taurus rising. You could have a Taurus north node. You have multiple Taurus energies going on. But working for somebody else, the money meant for you, because Taurus is the sign of wealth, right? The money meant for you would have went to that boss based on your skills and what you did and what you brought in, right? This way, you have cleared your debt to whatever boss, whatever company you were going to be in spiritually. And when you get into your own business, the wealth comes directly to you because that's who it was meant for. A lot of these companies and these big corporations are making money off of the people that they have working under them. There's this movie on Prime called, I think it's The Magical Negroes. Let me get it right. I don't want to mess it up because it was really good. The American Society of Magical Negroes. Wonderful film, right? So pretty much it was saying that they have a lot of skills and they're magical, but they can't let anybody know that they're magical. So they work underneath white people in order to boost them up so that they don't attack the people who have the gifts. It's sad. It says it's satire, but welcome to Earth, right? That's what I'm sensing. Somebody's magic has been keeping a business afloat. Without the magic underneath those businesses, they're going to crumble. Small businesses are the way to go going forward. This is probably Uranus and Taurus energy I'm picking up on too. So this might apply to everybody that has important Taurus stuff going on. Or, sorry, my nose. I went outside and pollen is crazy today. And my hair is crazy because I was walking. So, I think that's it for my Taurus stuff. You've been giving your power away as part of the servitude that you had to pay back. You are no longer being asked to be a part of the machine. You're being asked to be the solution to the machine. That's part one. So, Al, what is the message I have to deliver? Because telepathically, I got the message that he needed an answer on something. So what is the message that I need to deliver to my husband that is not my husband? You know, it's so funny because I'm still in the process of getting a divorce now. But I tell him, I'm like, you're my first husband. I have another one. It's like you are the lowercase one, and the one that I keep hearing in my head is the capital. Like, you my husband. That's my husband. Like, seriously, I had to be serious. Like, bro, no, don't play with me. That's my husband. I'm like, you just know, right? You feel it. It's different. So, what is going on? Well, that's interesting. The Hannah Montana theme song just popped in my freaking head. You get the limo out front. But it was the best of both worlds. So Hannah Montana's theme was like, she had just like a regular life at home, okie doke. And then when it came time to perform, she put on a wig and nobody knew. It was like Clark Kent versus Superman. She was Hannah Montana, the superstar, and just Molly when she was at home all the time enjoying herself. Let's see what that has to do with this. So, integration. So, abuse of the ego, King of Horses, Archangel Raphael is the healer, two worlds, and then there's a king at the end, right? So, this is saying to me, dear future husband, you are currently bringing two parts of yourself together, who you think you are and who you really are merging into one, and it can be quite uncomfortable. But this right now is a journey of reflection, and your guides are currently on your ass trying to give you clues and messages for ways to get through the game. It seems like strategy. It is strategy because look, we got your guides over here and then chess. So when you're spending time alone thinking, you're not just thinking, you're listening. You might think you're alone and you might like stare off in space, but it's because you're in a trance because you're listening. I think you can channel like I can. You just don't know you can channel yet. Or you're starting to get it. In your mind, you think it's you. Like, hey, I just came up with this idea. But no, it's because like grandpa is sitting right there next to you trying to help you get to this king status. It's like you have it in some way, but it's not like here. And I was about to say something like your crown's not on, like you feel like your crown fell off or something. All right, so look at this, right? This is dude checking himself out in the mirror. And notice there are three over here, but only one in the mirror. I don't know if you figured out that there are multiple people controlling your body or multiple different versions of yourself controlling your body, like you're a different dude on different days, but it's because you have been hypercycling through your karma and different versions of yourself over time. So all of those versions now are being pulled into one, right? Mask off. But notice that neither one of these have crowns. None of these guys have crowns, even though it says king at the bottom. After this healing and integration and bringing together two parts, this king has a crown and his castle. and his family. Maybe you have some Taurus energy, husband, because I think this might go with that. That first thing that I read. Nothing is a coincidence here. But you only get the crown after you're healed enough to make sure that you won't ruin the kingdom or something. You won't ruin your own kingdom. I am getting the feeling of like a boat. Oh, like a boat. I was saying at sea, and look, there's multiple boats here. But the boat has not put down anchor, like it's just floating. You have to put down an anchor in order to get your crown. It's like you're trying not to make any hardcore decision about anything. Like if you just let things go the way they're going to work themselves out, but nah. What is that daggone quote? Prayer without action, something. It's like you keep praying about it and you keep asking for the answer and you keep getting the answer, but you don't move forward with how you're supposed to go about things. This feels like it goes to that Taurus thing again about being stubborn also. There's definitely some stubborn energy coming off of this. So if you were wondering what was going on with you, but in general, and this is what the second video I'm going to do, that's going to be way longer, is about today. The males are integrating or trying to come into one, and that's going to be a long, like a long video because I got to explain some history stuff. But that's what's going on here. Al, you're not alone. There are multiple masculine energies that don't understand exactly what's happening with them. It's like you're not the person you used to be, but you're not the person that you're going to be fully. You're in some nasty middle phase of trying to pull it together. That reminds me because I've had this it's not Roddy Rich. Rod Wave stuck in my head. 25, like certain shit don't excite me no more. Certain stuff is not like me no more. I'm not who I used to be. I'm trying to do what I'm doing and it's not fitting at all. That feeling will continue to grow until you are more comfortable stepping into the healed version of yourself that probably, it seems like, enjoys isolation more. Not that you don't love work and making money and stuff, but it feels like, it really does feel like the energy at the beginning of this reading. Somebody who used to be the hardcore worker and have to do the work all the time, but it feels like now you're going to be working remotely. Might have already been, but this is different. Like, say you work for remote, but you had to come into the office sometimes, or you had to go to different places and do meetings and stuff. This feels like your remote office will be from home. You do whatever you want to from home because you're sending other people out. Other people are going to be doing the work. Like you show up when you want to. Like this is boss, but boss to a different level. Because there's no boss over your head here. When you are integrated with your crown, this is like your spiritual knowledge came in, your knowledge of self. And this didn't stand out to me until like just now pop up. And don't look at that finger. So is this your halo? Interesting. Once you start listening to yourself, it's like your guides that were there got you to the goal. So you don't even like need a full group of them anymore. You just need one. You just need to trust your intuition that has been trying to lead you the whole time. You don't trust yourself. You have not been trusting yourself. Okay. Let's keep this simple. So what did he need to know from me? My dear lurker. What did he need to know from me? This is the pettiest shit I have ever seen. I don't know why I would need to deliver this message. I am tickled. So, the dude I call my lowercase husband that's on the way out, the exit, It said, nah, you need to go ahead and dead that. Like, no, let that be. Because there is a, this message was supposed to be for me. There's a fire sign that would like to say something and move things forward. Notice how it's very clearly a yes here and very clearly a no next to the air sign. Change of residence or moving in with your partner. Confession. Someone has to tell you something. That doesn't explain why I was asked to deliver this message. That seems more like it was a message for me to get on screen so that I would pick up the message he was trying to send me and he would know I got his message, or that I'm able to get his messages because he wasn't sure if he's losing his shit. Like I wasn't sure if I was losing mine. But I done did so many of these readings. I'm like, okay, so there's just a guy that's lurking in the background. I'm not losing my mind. He just hasn't said anything and it's been like years. I guess maybe this is intimidating. I don't know. What message did I wanted to know what was happening to him? Like, why does everything suddenly suck? Okay, that's cool. So the closer you get to God, the less attached you get to earth and material things. You're in this world, but not of this world. So you start craving something deeper, right? So this whole time there was like hella stuff I had to tell you, but I was only able to tell you in person because it will activate you. Like it will fully bring you online into your crown, into who you are. If I had told you that ahead of time and you got activated while you were still surrounded by the wolves, that would not have been good. Like your attack would have been like, so there, I wasn't just hanging stuff over your head and not telling you nothing for years in these videos when I sort of felt like you were saying something to me. But I'm not allowed to. There are rules to this. If you ever show up, I would gladly tell you. But what is the message that he needed to know today? It's just, I can't activate you. I can't do anything out of person. I've been actually spending the last 2 weeks doing like healing work on lowercase dude. You can unbind somebody, guys. And that'll be in the second video. You can unbind your dudes that have been wrapped up in draconian programming. Some of them are not themselves, to put it easy, the easy way. Like if you ever got with a guy and you're like, oh my gosh, he's so great in the beginning, and then something switches, it's because there's something in their heart that causes that switch. And I cannot wait to tell you what I found, guys. But it came up again. The best of both worlds. I'm rarely stumped, but it usually only happens when it comes to my stuff. When it's a message that is connected to me or something, I got it. I can't ask the way I was asking because I'm gonna go like, huh? Let me try it from a different deck with a different question. I'm gonna go with the map. It feels like it just needs some guidance. Like, what am I doing? Where am I going? So what message does Al need for confirmation of his own messages today? What does he need to make sure that he's hearing correctly? That's some smart ass shit. A compass. And I was like, direction. But you needed to understand that you are being directed through a shapeshift. Remember I said your two pieces, or your three in your case, pieces are coming together. You're being led through a change. And it's gonna kind of make you sad. You might already be sad in your home. Crazy! Because the sad in your home was really obvious, right? Because you're going through this change and you're going through this change alone. But the thing that's making you sad, and I'm not even sure you understood it or realized it, is you miss your actual home, like for many other lifetimes, whatever you do in your first incarnation here becomes the butterfly effect type loop that keeps happening. So if you have kids in a family, that first loop, you created that family, you created that dynamic, and that's the one you crave every lifetime as you've done it like many, many times, right? So right now you are a single dude without a family, alone in your home, but you actually have a whole family, and we usually have like 7 kids. Like there are some still missing, they're like up floating in the astral because they have not grounded yet. But if you were wondering why you were sad or what was going on or what is this strange lull that is going on, you're being awakened or being relieved of your darkness as you're integrating, starting to accept yourself in totality. That's why everything is on hold. But the answer to your prayers is constantly in front of your face, or you're seeing signs about it all the time, consistently. So it is up to you. I felt like that was the last thing I said. It's up to you. It's up to you to make the next move about what you're going to do. What have you been praying about? Is what I would ask. Is that a Bryson Tiller song that just popped in my head? Because that's petty. Whatever that song is, savor for me. Like that's the bar I had in my head. And I'm like, I don't even listen to that song. It's just like in the background of my head. But protecting treasure was the next card. So I'm just going to say, whatever you've been praying for is possible. It can happen. Make it through whatever you're going through now with the healing and bringing stuff back together. You clearly have strong Taurus placements because even the beginning of this was giving you a message on what you're meant to be doing. But everything right now is frozen for you to clear out that old stuff and to like rise into your new energy, to accept you are not, you can't hang with the other niggas because you're not like the other niggas anymore. Like it's not the same. Life is pushing you towards this because there is another octave, another note, another song, another album that you are meant to make in solitude that will be from God. It's like what you create and what you do is based upon your experiences and stuff going on around you. You need to create this next thing or this next level that's coming up for you when it's you and God face to face. So solitude, but you won't be alone. It's like you may have been creating from chaos or loneliness or that sadness in your dungeon before. You are going to be in solitude, right? That's going to be your home. You're not going to actually be alone. It'll be your family, will be, right? But you're going to be listening or hearing your songs from the collective. Like, I'm sensing like Michael Jackson type music, like Prince type music. All the skills that you have accumulated before now were to make sure that your human was able to funnel, because I said you could channel, right? But you're going to be able to channel music. God wants to use you. That's what I'm hearing. God wants to use you. This is going to be the thing that changes whatever you were going through before, whatever your career was going through. Don't even worry about it. Just do what's been on your mind, even if it contradicts what you're seeing in front of you. Because yourself is the plug. Yourself is trying to tell you stuff. You got a whole bunch of signs that you can't miss. But you can miss the opportunity if you don't trust in yourself enough to go after it. So, all right. Hopefully that message hit a bunch of Taurus energy people, because somehow this is working together. But when I woke up and I pulled, it's like, hey, you need to deliver this message because the person that's supposed to be your husband this lifetime needs some clarity on something. And he's lurking. So, all right. Have a great day.